Can an Attorney General sit in the House of Assembly among parliamentarians during proceedings of the legislative body? Well, Leader of the Opposition Alan Chasney has taken issue with the presence of the current holder of the office, Leslie Mondesi, at House meetings. He made this known in a recent UWP media interview.
With 15-2 in the House, or some people would say 17-2, because sometimes you wonder whether the Speaker himself is being fair, and then you have unprecedentedly a Attorney General, a public Attorney General sitting in the House.
But is the Micoud South MP once again mistaken? According to Section 33 of the Constitution on the Composition of Parliament, quote, "At any time when the office of Attorney General is a public office, the Attorney General shall, by virtue of holding or acting in that office, be a member of the House." House Speaker Claudius Francis, during his recent primetime straight-up talk show, also explains that the Constitution is quite clear on Attorneys General who are public officers. As accurately reported by News Force on Monday, the highest law of the land stipulates that the holder of such office is indeed a member of the House.
Section 30, subsection 3 of the Supreme Law of St. Lucia states that, so in effect, the Attorney General is always a member of Parliament, because the only other way you can appoint him is if he's a member of the House or via the Senate. And if you're going to appoint an Attorney General via the Senate, you always make him a Minister of Legal Affairs as well, because the Attorney General is not a ministry. Attorney General's office can either be a public office or a political office.
There is a pellucid distinction between a politically appointed AG and a public officer. The current office holder, Leslie Mondesi, is the latest in a string of Attorneys General who fall within the latter. All but one, Stephen Julian, under the Alan Chasney administration, decided not to sit in on House proceedings.
The last 3 Attorneys General that we had were all public officers. Kim St. Rose, Stephen Julian, and the current Attorney General, Leslie Mondesi. I would have to ask Mr. Julian himself, why is it he chose not to take his position in the House of Assembly? Because Mrs. Kim St. Rose certainly did take her position between the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, then Philip J. Pierre, between 2011 and 2016. I know, I was there. So I have no idea why Stephen Julian did not take his seat, but he was perfectly entitled to sit.
History is replete with Attorneys General confirmed by the Public Service Commission who sat among House members and provided counsel to the Prime Minister.
And because he sits to give advice basically to the Prime Minister, he sits next to the Prime Minister, which is where every Attorney General, we go back to 1997, Petrus Compton was also appointed Attorney General through the Public Service. He sat there. Now, if you're an Attorney General appointed through the Senate, you could not sit there in the House without leave of the House, because you are a member of the other House. But the Constitution is very, very clear. Whenever the office of the Attorney General is a public office, the holder of that position shall be a member of the House of Assembly. So the current Attorney General, contrary to what is being said, by one at least, is not in breach of the House rules.
The current leader of the opposition has been at odds with a number of conventions and constitutional norms over the past few years. He presided over the only administration in the history of the nation which failed to appoint a deputy speaker, arguing that it was the duty of the entire House. A landmark court decision is still pending on this issue. To this date, Micoud South MP Alan Chasney maintains that the position is not vital, merely a seat warmer for the substantive speaker to take a toilet break. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.